gentlemen, welcome back. It has been a while since I've picked up the camera because, to be honest with you, for the last few weeks I've had writer's block, aka creative block. Creative block can be described as the inability to access one's internal creativity. Writers, musicians, performers, and now YouTubers are often more likely to be affected by creative blocks, which can last for days, weeks, months, or even years. Major causes of creative block: self-doubt. So I thought, let's get back to being creative, pick up the camera again, come back to the workshop, and there's loads and loads of things to update you guys on, to show you, to tell you. So in today's video, we are just going to be hanging out back at the workshop. Oh, also, I got a new vehicle to show you. And it's not a vehicle you're probably going to be expecting. First off, if you haven't seen this workshop before, go and check out the video here, because I have a workshop which I've been renting for about the last 6 months, and it's kind of become, or hopefully becoming, my creative space. Not just for van build projects, but just a place to unload all of the ADHD and brain farts that go on inside here. So I think it's only right that I show you guys about, even though you can see it all here, but there's been a few upgrades and things that have been added. First off, the other day I put up some more shelves above the bench here, and now I have all of my tools here that I kind of need to quickly and easily access. I've just bunged in some very simple screws into the breeze block wall, got my clamps hanging there, ear defenders which I never use, got this nifty new tool the other day which I quite like, is a hammer and a nail remover tool all in one. Up here we've got ourselves a lovely whiteboard which has already come in super handy because my brain goes a million miles an hour. I often procrastinate, get massively distracted on the things that I should be doing. So today we're going to create a to-do list and get some jobs ticked off. On the other side of the workshop, I built myself last week a very basic kind of wood storage area just to try and get as much stuff off the floor and up high, utilize the space. Made these awesome little shelves. I say awesome, it took me about 2 days to figure this out, but that's the fun of this space, that I can play around, do things that I've never done before and learn on the job. It's nice to have some of the wooden stuff out the way. He says, let me know, what do you do with all your offcuts? Because I have no idea what to do with it. There's times when I think I'll need it, but there's also times when I think I just need to get rid of it. So unfortunately, having a space like this not only means that it's a place where I can come and work, but also it turns into just general storage. All of this stuff here is Evie's, my girlfriend. We are buying a flat, or we're waiting for a completion date on our flat. My God, she's seen one property and she's sat here looking at it going, this is my dream home. This is the one.
It just is the one. When you know, babe, you know?
I genuinely never thought I owned this much stuff. And after a few months in here, the workshop is fully packed and I have no idea where to put stuff anymore. Over in this corner of the workshop, we have, well, my lavatory, my toilet area, which I have to say I've already used this morning. Over here, we've got my kitchen. Fully equipped with a microwave, a whistling kettle, a bottle and a cup, and a sandwich toaster. If anybody wants these double cab seats for a Fiat Ducato, Peugeot Boxer or a Citroen Relay, please let me know, because me and Ed, we bought them when we went to Germany, took it out, replaced back for my single, and now I need to get rid of this. So if you're interested, send me a message, an email, and I'll do you a good deal. I really have enjoyed coming back to this space to kind of just settle back into a routine, get back to work, figure out the next projects coming up, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. So before we crack on with today's jobs and I introduce you to my new vehicle, I've got my fancy new notepad here, which I got off Amazon. I've been watching a lot of videos recently about kind of organizing your thoughts and creativity. So this is hopefully what this is going to do for me. Helps me to unload everything in here onto here. Wow, that plane is loud, isn't it? Anyway, first things first that I wanted to update you guys on was the Euros. Sad times, England lost in the final against Spain. But what can you say? Spain were the best team, and if you've been watching any of the recent videos, you will have seen that me and my twin brother Ed, we travelled over to Germany to follow England, the Three Lions, at the Euros. It was an incredible experience. I actually got back a couple of weeks ago. We didn't stay out there for the quarter-final, the semi-final, or the final, because to be honest with you, I was just ready to come home after 2 weeks living in the van with Ed in a very, very small space.
Let's see your fresh apple juice. freshly squeezed.
And also trying to work on the road, I was finding it a little bit tricky. This is where we've parked, and this is where we'll be sleeping and just, well, staying for the next 24 hours. A few other vans down there. A little update for you guys on Ed, because I know he's somebody that you want to see more in the videos going forward. But as I've said before, Ed's got his own life to live. He's got his own dreams, aspirations. He's actually off to Canada with his girlfriend on Thursday. And he's going to live, travel, and work in Canada. So I'm very sorry to say that you're stuck with just me. But not to worry, you're also stuck with my beloved camper van, Mary. But the recent trip to Germany made me realise a few things. She is not big enough for two people to be living in that van for a long period of time. I don't know exactly what my plans are to do with Mary. I'm thinking of an idea of potentially raffling her off, but there's still a load of upgrades and things that I actually want to do to the van to make her kind of 99% finished. Oh my God, I hate carpentry. I thought just recutting a piece of this would be simple enough, and I'm losing my head. Right, what was the other thing I had to talk about? Ah, yes, the next thing on the list. The ex-Amazon delivery van, the Ford Transit. Now, where the hell do I even start with that? Long story short, if you guys have not seen those videos, the initial plan with traveling to the Euros was to buy a van on a budget of £2,000. And I went and bought probably the worst van on the internet, because I literally had 2 days to buy a van. And it just so happened to be the dodgiest vehicle I could have ever bought. Whoa, stop! If you've seen those videos, we tried to convert this Amazon van into a camper van in 10 days, but we absolutely failed because, to be honest with you, we just didn't have enough time. And the vehicle, after spending £1,000 to get it kind of mechanically fixed, is absolutely buggered. Mechanically, it's However, I have a plan for the Amazon van, and that plan is to continue to spend money to get it fixed and then convert it into a camper van. So there's going to be another van build video series on the Amazon van once I get it back from the mechanic to get the turbo fixed and to get it properly looked at and make sure it's running 100%. I know there's 1,000 comments saying, why the hell would you actually start working on it when it doesn't run properly? And purely because of the time constraints that we had to take a bit of a risk and just start converting it without really knowing if it was mechanically sound or not. Anyway, as always, many lessons learnt with buying that van. Probably not something I would do again in terms of buying a van that's done 200,000 miles on the clock, a van in that state.
She's got quite a few oil leaks. Quite a few oil leaks.
But you live and you learn. And it should be a lot of fun trying to turn that absolutely horrendous, diabolical vehicle into something beautiful and amazing and into a proper camper. There has been a lot of different stuff going on over the last few months, and I'm happy to be back now with no time pressure in terms of having to build a van in 10 days and take it to the Euros. I want to really use this space properly and really seriously develop my mechanical knowledge, my carpentry knowledge, my electrical knowledge, all of that stuff with doing more van builds. Because if you've watched any of this channel, I am not a mechanic. Oh! I am not a carpenter. I am not an electrician. Oh, should have connected the negative first, I think. Jesus. I am not a professional tradie of any sort. I'm just a bloke that enjoys messing around, trying things, learning things, and trying to develop myself. With all of that over with, let me introduce you to the new vehicle and some of the things that we're going to get up to today. Now, I bet you thought I was going to introduce you to another van, but I'm not. So this is my 2009 BMW 1 Series, which I've had for a few months now. So it's really not that new to me. However, you guys have never seen it on the channel. I want to service this car because, one, I've never serviced a car before. The only vehicle I've ever serviced was Mary, my camper van. Oh my God. And that took me absolutely ages, and because I've got a space like this to use, I want to learn how to do all of this stuff myself. The reason I bought it is because for the last 2 or 3 years, the only vehicle that I've actually been driving is Mary. And driving that thing everywhere, one, is not good on fuel. It's expensive, it costs a lot to fill up, and you know, it's not the smallest or most pleasant drive. Driving that down country lanes, honestly, I've probably lost about 2 or 3 wing mirrors. So now having a car that's, one, a little bit more fuel efficient, it's not the best. I only get 33 miles per gallon out of it, but it also makes me feel like I'm a serious adult. Because this is only the second car that I've ever owned in my life. My first ever car was a Nissan Micra, which my parents bought for my neighbour for £100. Now, to be totally honest with you, I did actually try and service this car the other day. However, that just went drastically wrong because I didn't have the right bloody tools. So anyway, I went on Amazon and I've now got the right tool to hopefully service this. So from my understanding of a DIY car service, there's a few things that we need to get done. One, oil filter. And that was the job I was having an absolute nightmare with the other day. I gave up because I didn't have the right tool to get the bloody oil filter out. But now hopefully I've got the right tool. Oil change. Hopefully that shouldn't be too difficult. Relatively simple, I think. Pollen filter, which actually I did the other day when I started to service the car, so we can already tick that off, but I'll show you what the old pollen filter looked like, what the new pollen filter looks like. What else is there in a DIY service? Coolant check, I suppose. Coolant check. Honestly, I have never serviced a car before, so I'm just going to watch some YouTube videos and try and figure it out. It should be relatively simple. And that's just reminded me, air filter, which I'm not exactly sure where that is on this car. Spark plugs. I don't know what spark plugs are. I don't know what they do, but I'm going to give all of this a go because I think it would be good fun. Have a look at this. I feel like a bloody mechanic. The only thing is, this is broken. Yeah, I have to lift it up because I can't get under there. There's a method to the madness just from videos I've been watching online. Put that piece of wood on it there. So there's a little cog here which I've got to turn just to tighten up the pressure or something, because I've actually snapped the nut on here. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you're f***ing joking me. Oh my god. My piece of wood is snapped. Well, that didn't happen the other day. I honestly thought today nothing would go wrong. Gonna have to take it down. Hopefully the undertray of the car is alright. Maybe this is why you pay a professional. Oh, hell. The piece of wood is stuck in the undertray. How's that happen? Okay. I think that was my mistake. Well, it definitely was my mistake because there's no one else here to blame. I didn't have my piece of wood on the right jacking point, and I basically had it on the plastic, which means I've just cracked it. Bear with me and we'll get this up and then I'll show you. Oh, it's got to go even higher. Oh my god, it's got to go even higher again. Right, that should be it. Can drop it down. Oh, I think we're good. I think we're good. Just to really complete the look and the vibe of today's video. Excuse me, I'm about to get naked. I don't know why I didn't put this on before I crawled under the car. What's happened here? Has my brother bloody broken this? Freaking hell. Right, here we go. Right. We're good. So to actually service the car, I went on eBay the other day and just picked up a BMW 1 Series servicing kit. I think it cost me about £100. Anyway, it comes with oil. We've got the new oil filter. We've got spark plugs, and we've got the new, or a new, air filter. If you're not into cars, don't worry, because neither am I. I just quite enjoy trying to do stuff like this. It's quite good fun, especially if you can do it. Ho, ho, ho. Here she is. If anyone's interested in engines, I am certainly not, but it's a 120i, whatever that means. The I stands for petrol, and the 120 is some technical gibberish which I don't understand, but I think it's basically the higher spec engine. So it's got more power, it's got a bit of speed to it. I didn't necessarily want more power or speed because I'm not into going fast or cars, to be honest. I'm into vans and camper vans and weird things that you can sleep in. So from my basic mechanical knowledge, here we have the coolant, which I don't want to open just yet because the engine is still warm. We've got the washer fluid for your windscreen wipers. Here is obviously, well, I say obviously, the engine, and then this is the oil cap where you'd fill up the oil, which we're going to do. From my understanding, this is the oil filter. This is what I could not get off the other day. I honestly just wanted to murder somebody, and I was going nuts because I was just so annoyed that I thought I could just crack on and get it done, but having the right tools is so essential. In here, I believe, is the air filter, which we're going to change out, and this is actually the pollen filter, which I already changed the other day. So just to show you what a pollen filter is, what it does, this was the old one. This was the one that I replaced. You basically take off this cover, it's 6 screws, and you replace like for like. Apparently, a pollen filter just filters all of the air coming inside the vehicle. That was the only thing I changed the other day because it was pretty simple and easy to do. So today it's finished the rest of it. First job I'm going to do, oil filter. So in here, we have a spark plug tool kit, and also hopefully the correct and specific oil filter cap. So let's test this out and see if it fits. Thank you so much, by the way, to James on Instagram, who is a BMW tech mechanic guy, who told me I needed this. It's a little bit tight, it doesn't seem to... Oh, there we go. Okay, that is perfect. Oh wow, I really hope this should come off so easily now. Here we go. I've got all my Halfords bits and bobs. I am honestly the definition of all of the gear and no idea. Kind of just every different job that I use them. Hopefully I'll learn exactly how to use them, but I think this should be all good. So let's try and get that oil filter off. Oh, I'm so scared I don't want to snap it, but oh no, is that it? Oh! Does oil splat out if it's hot? Just in case. Just in case. Honestly, I was farting about with this for about an hour and a half, 2 hours the other day, and now having the right tool, it's come off like a piece of piss. Okay, now what? I think now, from the video I watched, I've got to go underneath and drain the oil. Like I say, this is not a how-to video, this is a probably how not to, and just watch Will attempt to do things that he's never done before.
Your oil can ready, you can get one off Amazon. It makes it really easy to drain the oil as well as to store it, so you can empty it to a container or recycle it later.
It's funny, I'm watching a YouTube video as you're watching me film a YouTube video. What a weird world we live in. Car, please don't fool on me. Where is the oil filter drain hole thing? Oh god, I really did snap that. That's not good. Oh god, I don't like being under here. Probably helps if I had a smaller screwdriver. There it is. Right, can I not get oil everywhere, please? Actually, I'm going to put some rubber gloves on. I really told you, I've got all of the gear and no idea. Lovely. I actually feel like a mechanic. If you want me to service or MOT your car, it's £75 an hour. That seems to be the standard rate, doesn't it? Here we go. Here we go. It's going to come in a minute. That sounded wrong, didn't it? Sorry, I do apologise. Ah! Ooh. Okay, oil's leaking. Now what? I've got oil over my hands. Oh, I need to take this glove off. Ah. Wow, I'm glad I put gloves on. New filter, old filter. Get that out, change over the little, what did he call them?
You should also have a brand new O-ring and a drain.
O-ring, that's the one. Replace the O-ring, swap like for like, pop it back in, tighten it up. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. I've had an absolute nightmare. I just went to grab my sump plug and I've dropped it in the pan of oil. And I dropped my tool in there as well. This is where I need an assistant blue roll, please. Top tips for any mechanic out there. One, don't watch these videos, but also get some blue roll. My little thing is out and the sump plug, all drenched in oil. Oh, this hand is all covered in oil and I can't use it. Oh my flipping God. I'm like bloody Edward Scissorhands. Is this what the mechanic has to go for every time he services a car? Probably not. Right, there we go. So with the gloves back on, I could swap out the old O-rings, which are basically just tiny rubber seals. Why does everything look so much easier on other people's videos? And then swap out the old washer for the new one. Old one, new one. And then go back to the car ready to wipe everything clean with a recent German souvenir. Lukas Podolski. These must be from Germany. I can now give everything a bit of a wipe down and a good clean. Right, that'll do, donkey, that'll do. And put the new oil filter back in. Look at that, man. We've done a thing, we've done a thing. Then I could go back under the car and screw back on the sump plug so that any new oil I put in doesn't drain straight onto the floor. Put some new oil in it. Shit. I don't know how I missed the funnel there, but I did. After kind of guesstimating and putting about 4.5 litres of oil in. Right, let's put that back on. And check the oil level. I had to jump inside the car, start up the engine and let the car warm up just a little bit so that I could then see the oil level on the dashboard. Air filter, spark plugs. Let's do it. So the air filter was in this really weird shaped black box which had a few screws holding it all together, a couple of Jubilee clips in some very annoying awkward places. I need to get this off, but for some reason the bloody Jubilee clip is in a really awkward position that I can't get it from there. Oh, there we go. Wow, I did a thing. And trying to get the actual air filter housing out of the car was bloody fiddly. Dumb question, but I genuinely don't know. What does an air filter even do? If you know, put it down in the comments. It would be nice to know the reasons I'm replacing things. The science behind it all. Not that I would ever remember that forever, but it's just nice to know what you're doing and why. Oh God. Oh no. I have no idea where that's just gone. Where's that screw gone? Oh, there it is. I found it. How am I going to get that then? Oh, that's hot. Let's just careful of the pipe work. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I got it. Call me a bloody engine surgeon, why don't you? Okay, according to my calculations, hopefully this should now come out, he says. Okay, there we go. Here's the existing air filter. Now with the old air filter out, I could replace it for the brand spanking new one, and then it was the fun part of putting all of this back together. Why are you being a bastard to go back on? Why? Which was a lot easier said than done. I knew it couldn't be as simple as it looks on the internet. My God. Ow! Ow! I've done it. Bit of brute force. Happy days. Air filter. Done. Oh, spark plug. No idea what this does either, but I just know it needs to be replaced. So according to my research on the internet and just watching YouTube videos, the spark plugs are in here underneath the ignition coils. Need to pry these out and fingers crossed. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get them out from under here. Oh God. There we go. One ignition coil out. So I had to order a spark plug kit because you need a specific tool to get the spark plug out. I don't actually think the socket set that I've ordered is for the spark plugs that I've got in the car. I mean, I could be wrong. Oh no, I've ordered the wrong ones. I've got a 6-pointer. I need a 12-pointer, and now that means I can't replace the spark plugs today. Oh my goodness gracious me. Guys, we're 2 days later. I now have the right tool to take out the spark plugs and get this car 100% serviced. This was the part that I didn't have the other day, this 12-point spark plug, what the hell do you call it, socket set. So this was the original one, which doesn't fit. This is the new one. So I managed to get the first 2 spark plugs out, no problemo, but the next 2 proved to be a bit of a pain in the arse. This one's a fucker. A few broken plastic parts later. Oh fuck. Don't pull too hard because you'll snap something just like I have. And trying to be innovative on the job as I had a stuck ignition coil. And about an hour and a half later, the job was finally done. The last spark plug to replace. New one on my right hand, old one in my left. Let's get this one in. Lovely! And the only thing left to do was to put everything back the way it was. Where did that come off? And my first ever time servicing a car myself was relatively successful, I must say. Oh my God. I think that's it. I think I'm done. And a lot of fun. So we're done. The servicing of the car is all done and dusted. That was a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of mistakes were made, but a lot of lessons were learned, and my DIY mechanical skills feel like they're getting just a little bit better. As you can see, Mary has been swapped in for the BMW because there are plenty of upgrades that I need to do on this van to get her 100% finished. And that's going to be my task for the next few weeks, to get all of the modifications and improvements done and finally finished to that van. As always, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give the video a like. Make sure to subscribe. They are both completely free and they help the channel out more than you know. And as always, I'll see you in next week's video.